Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Rookie Card Collector 123 video. In today's episode, we are going to debut a new series. This one is going to cover Football Hall of Fame rookie cards. I'm going to use the same format that I've been using for the Hall of Fame Baseball rookie card series that I've been doing for several months now. My rookie card guide that I've been using to show all the pictures also includes football as well as basketball and hockey. So eventually, I will start the basketball series probably next in another month or two, and then following hockey. So today we're going to cover the first group of Football Hall of Fame rookies. I'm going to go in alphabetical order. So I'm going to start with the players' last names beginning with A. So first card we're going to look at here is going to be a 1964 Philadelphia, Herb Adderley. Adderley was one of the great Green Bay Packers from the 1960s. Career ran into the early 70s as well. And the 1964 Philadelphia series, during most of the 60s, or part of the 60s anyway, the mid 60s, Philadelphia printed the cards of the National Football League players, and Topps printed the cards of the American Football League players. There was two separate licenses for the two different leagues. Eventually, in the late 60s, everything would come under the Topps umbrella. I believe 67 was the last year for the Philadelphia brand. So 1964 Philadelphia Herb Adderley rookie card. Next up is going to be a more modern player, more modern rookie card. This is Troy Aikman. Aikman, of course, was the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboy teams that won multiple Super Bowls during the 1990s, with Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, and Aikman being the three big offensive stars. Aikman's true rookie here, the rookie of choice, because he had several. The one I opted to go with is the 1989 Score rookie series card. Aikman also appeared in Topps and Pro Set, some other rookie year cards as well. So 1989 Score, Troy Aikman. Okay, next one we're going to talk about is not a player, but a coach, George Allen. Allen coached primarily for the Washington Redskins during the, I believe, 60s, 70s. And Allen appears, he did not have any career contemporary cards, as a lot of coaches did not. So we have him in his 1994 Ted Williams, the same baseball player, Hall of Famer that played for the Red Sox. They produced a Ted Williams card set in 1994. They did one for football. They did a series for baseball, which included a lot of Negro League guys. But this 1994 George Allen was the earliest football card representation I was able to find for the former Redskin coach. Next one we're going to look at is Larry Allen. This one is a 1994 playoff rookie card. Like a lot of the modern players, Allen had more than one rookie card during that 1994 rookie year issue, so I just opted to pick with the one I felt was typically the most popular out of the group. So Larry Allen was a huge offensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys. Primarily, he played in the same 1990s era with Aikman and Emmitt Smith and Monty Irvin team that won the Super Bowls with Jimmy Johnson as the coach. Okay, next one we're going to look at is the 1983 Topps Marcus Allen here with the Los Angeles Raiders at that time. Allen, you could see, even his rookie season, he was a Pro Bowl selection at running back, one of the NFL's all-time leading rushers, also a great pass catcher out of the backfield for the Raiders, and then later in his career, he played a couple of seasons for the Kansas City Chiefs as well. Allen was also a superstar in college at USC, University of Southern California. So 1983 Topps Marcus Allen rookie card. Next up, we have a popular rookie card. This is more of a vintage nature. This one is a 1963 Fleer. Not the easiest card to come by. This is Lance Allworth, who was a great wide receiver for the San Diego Chargers, and then played for one or two other teams at the end of his career. But had all of his best seasons in the American Football League before the AFL NFL merger, and a star, one of the first great wide receivers in the American slash National Football League, Lance Allworth, 1963 Fleer. Okay, next one we're going to look at is a 1954 Bowman, Doug Atkins. Atkins was a lineman for the Cleveland Browns. He played on the teams during the 50s that won all the championships with Otto Graham, and then later on Jim Brown. Atkins was like I said, a star lineman for those Cleveland Brown teams. His rookie card is the 1954 Bowman Football Series. Again, more of a vintage nature than some of the other more modern cards we've looked at so far. Next one we're going to talk about is a real old timer. His name is Red Badgro, and he played in the 1930s primarily. Unfortunately, he was not included in the one early 1930s football set that was issued by National Chickle. So the earliest card I was able to uncover for him is a rookie card, which is about 50 years after his playing days, was this 1982 Hall of Fame metallic card. These were put out by the Canton Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They're actually made out of metal. Baseball did a series from Cooperstown that were the same metallic, same era, early 1980s, through the end of the decade. The baseball ones were a gold color or a bronze color. The football ones were done in a silver color. So Red Badgro, 1930s star, 1982 Hall of Fame metallic would be a rookie card for him. Okay, next one we have is going to be a more obscure card. We have Lem Barney, who was a defensive back, I believe mostly cornerback, for the Detroit Lions in the late 60s and then throughout the 1970s. I know he was a number of all-pro selections, one of the best defensive backs of that era. And he appears here on this 1968 Champions Cornflakes. It was a card that would be cut out from a cereal box, kind of similar to 1969 when baseball did a Nabisco series with the Nabisco cornflakes. And they produced a Willie Mays and a Roberto Clemente and a Hank Aaron and a few other players. A bunch of other players. Len Barney was on the football side of things for the Cornflakes. And this is 1968. If you look beyond this card, his traditional mainstream rookie would be a 1970 Topps Lem Barney. So this one actually predates the Topps card by 2 years, and also represents a much bigger challenge trying to find the Topps. Obviously, fairly easy to locate. Okay, now we're going to talk about a card that comes from that 1935 series that I mentioned previously. Red Badgro did not appear in. So this is a 1935 National Chickle, the first one we're going to look at, but there are several Hall of Fame rookies in that set. This one is Cliff Battles. Battles was, I believe, with Washington. They were called the Washington Redskins, I believe, at that time. And this National Chickle is by far probably what I would consider the premier football vintage issue ever produced, at least for pre-war cards. Battles is, like I said, he's the first Hall of Famer we're going to look at, but there's going to be several others. And the most expensive football card that there is these days is also included in this set, and that's a rookie. So we will talk about that when we get to that point. So 1935 National Chickle Cliff Battles. Next one we're going to talk about is Sammy Baugh. Sammy Baugh was a great quarterback during the 40s into the early 50s. He's pictured here in this 1948 Bowman. The 48 Bowman football set was just like the baseball set. All the cards came in black and white, just about square size. Um, and Baugh appears here in a passing pose. Baugh was also well known for not only being quarterback, but he was also a leading punter in the National Football League as a punter at one point in the early 40s, earlier in his career. And he also played, I believe, defensive back. So he was a three-way player, special teams, offense, and defense, as well as being a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. So 1948 Bowman, Sammy Baugh. Next one we're going to look at is a 1948 Leaf, very similar to the 48 Leaf. We're now classified as 49 Leaf baseball. But this one pictures Chuck Bednarik, who is a defensive line star primarily for the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe he played for one or two other teams as well. The 48 Leafs are fairly tough. They're much tougher to come by than the 48 Bowman black and whites like we looked at with Sammy Baugh. And some of the Leaf cards, I believe they had a higher number series that were scarcer or short printed. So that makes some of those even tougher. But 1948 Leaf, Chuck Bednarik, defensive star in the National Football League. Okay, next one we're going to look at is one that's another one that's not career contemporary. This came after the fact. This is Bert Bell. Bell was a Philadelphia Eagles, Pittsburgh Steelers executive, mainly during the 40s and 50s. He had never had any cards produced. So he appears in this 1974 Fleer Hall of Fame football series. There are several players in there that appear in that set from playing in the earlier 20s, 30s, 40s era that had no career contemporary items. A lot of times, the earliest card that was issued for them was this 1974 Fleer Hall of Fame set. So Bert Bell falls into that series. Next up, we have Bobby Bell. Bell was primarily a defensive star for the Kansas City Chiefs. He appears in the 64 Topps rookie card. Chiefs had one of the top defenses in the American Football League during the 60s. And as I mentioned before, 64 Topps had the license to print AFL cards, and Philadelphia Gum Company produced the NFL National Football League cards. So this was an AFL card, Kansas City Chiefs. Bobby Bell, 1964 Topps. Okay, next one we're going to look at is 1957. This is an older vintage football series. This one is Raymond Berry. Berry was one of the early top wide receivers in the National Football League. He came up the same season as John Unitas with the Baltimore Colts. And the two of them formed one of the best, if not the number one, passing tandem in the National Football League at that time. And Berry appears in this 1957 Topps Series. Topps Series is very popular. You have a portrait on one side of the card and then an action pose on the other side. Centering is usually a challenge on those 57 Topps cards, but very attractive and very popular set to collect. And the last one we're going to look at today is 1970 Topps. By this point, Philadelphia is out of the picture, so 70s is strictly all Topps when it comes to football cards. This is Elvin Bethea. Bethea is a defensive end for the Houston Oilers and began his career in the late 60s, appears on this 1970 Topps rookie card. So that's going to wrap up our debut episode on the Football Hall of Fame rookie cards. The football, as you can see, does not go back as far as baseball. There's certainly nothing 19th century. Early 20th century is very scarce, few and far between. There are a couple of cards out there. The National Chickle set from 1935 I mentioned. There's also a couple of other sets, Scouty sets, which included a couple of football greats, but they were not football sets per se. They were multi-sport sets. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you guys again on the next one.